anticipate Saturday? What's that going to be like? I know you've played outdoors before in a football stadium like that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's a good day for the family, good day for all the guys. Everyone, enjoys those. It's a big 2 points on the line, so treat it like any other game.
How much more important is practice just to adjust to the conditions?
I mean, yeah, you get a little feel for it, but obviously it's going to be quite a bit different. So just you're not going to feel, obviously, yourself in the surroundings that you're in. So just try and enjoy it as much as you can.
Can you talk about that Minnesota game? You guys obviously come back from a multi-goal deficit and find a way to win. What was just kind of the mindset after that first period to come back?
Yeah, you know what? I liked our game in the first period. I thought we played well, came out strong in a building where it's not easy to have a good start in. So I know we were down 2 after the first, but I think we liked our game and we thought just stick with it and things will go our way, and they did.
You guys have been collecting points since coming back from the break. Has it been easy to get your legs under you with the amount of games you've had since then, or what's that process been?
Yeah, I think as you get that week off, good chance to refresh the body. We had 4 days of practice to get our legs under us, so we were ready to go once the puck dropped.
And then important standings points tonight too before Saturday's game. What about Columbus do you guys kind of look at when you're scouting them and preparing for them?
Yeah, they play hard. Play a hard game, big strong team. Obviously have quite a few injuries, so you've seen other guys kind of step up and play well for them this year. So a team that works hard, plays hard, so it'll be a good game.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no worries.
It's supposed to be a fun game, but it obviously still means a lot for us. So we're going to go out there and treat it as a normal game, and hopefully get a win.
How much more important is a practice to get used to those kind of conditions?
Yeah, I think once we get out there, it'll feel more like normal setting. I think warm-ups and stuff obviously is fun out there, and you kind of try to take it all in. But once the game starts, you're kind of dialed in. So nothing changes then.
How much experience do you have with games?
I just have one, just Winter Classic a couple years ago. Like I said, it was a fun experience, and fun to be out there and warm ups and take it all in. And but yeah, once the game starts, it's another game, and you gotta dial it in for sure.
Just back-to-back games against a team that you're battling with for the playoffs. How much extra does that add to this next 2 games?
Yeah, for sure. It's huge. I think you can either take a big step in the standings here in these next 2 games, or lose one. So we got to come out hard, and obviously first one at home is important, and we can move on from there.
Your schedule at this time of year is always just kind of crazy, and you never know when these games that matter are really going to fall. When did it start to become a clear picture in here that not only is this outdoor game going to be cool and visual, but is really going to matter?
I think back from break, I think you start wearing your gear and getting into the mode and thinking about it a little more. So before that, I feel like we're not thinking about it too much, and now is when it really ramps up. I think obviously playing them tonight and in the outdoor game is big game for us, very important in the standings, and we got to come out ready to play.
Todd has really challenged, it feels like, the whole room just to see who's going to step up in terms of leadership opportunities the next few weeks to months. With what you've learned about Todd so far, what do you think makes those impressions on him?
I think the way you play, I think more than anything is, each shift you're battling, and he just wants that effort from everyone, every shift, and take no shifts off and go out there and play your game, play within the system, but give it your all. And I think there's most of the team has stepped up to that standard, and I think that's why we've been successful.
Being a hockey player and being on these stages these last few years, these outdoor games are such a big deal. How much will you allow yourself to kind of soak in just the moment of this week, the matchup against Columbus 2 times, and the pomp and circumstance, everything Saturday?
Yeah, I think I was saying earlier, I think warm-ups is very cool, and you try to take it all in there, and then game starts and you're back in game mode, and it doesn't really feel like an outdoor game anymore. So I unfortunately don't really remember too much about my first one. I feel like try to soak it in as much as possible, but when you're focused on the game, you're just thinking about that, and hopefully we can get a win, and it'd be a good night for us.
Have you ever been to Ohio State?
No, I haven't.
kind of looking forward in that respect? I mean, it's like historic.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be really cool. My last one was at Notre Dame Stadium, so another cool venue, and I think the rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State and having the Wings and Blue Jackets go up against each other is it should be fun. I think hopefully we can carry that onto the ice and have a good battle.
Any ear to the ground on any plans for the Michigan guys to represent the blue and maize?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
Hi, Jody.
Hey, Todd.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Todd looked like Rasmussen skated a little bit, but does he need some more time?
Yeah, he won't play tonight. We'll see how he is for Saturday back in Columbus.
When the league puts these outdoor games together, they can never picture, okay, they're going to be just a few points separated in a big playoff race. Let's just pick those two guys a year out. But just to wrap your head around the magnitude of being on that stage and how big this game is in this two-game stretch, can you put into words all that?
Well, the fact that both teams, and I can certainly speak for our team, but also I'm sure for Dean and his club, the fact that we're both in this situation is pretty exciting for both organizations. The games are very meaningful. Back-to-back set. Outdoor just adds a lot more drama to it. But on Sunday when we all wake up, the actual hockey part of it, the points, and what comes out of it will be the most important. But there's a lot of exciting things leading up to it, and the experience that the players will have not only in Columbus, but starting tonight, and then in Columbus in the outdoor game will be one that they'll have memories for a long time. But Sunday morning, it's back to what happened, where did the points go, and let's move on and see what we can get done.
Todd, what are the challenges as a coach in outdoor games?
Well, focus. Focus is something that has to come into play. You know why you're going there. You know that the game is real important, but there's so many auxiliary things that go on. Your families tend to make a trip. You're skating with them the night before. You don't necessarily get a real practice in. They're getting used to the ice and your surroundings. From a player perspective, the spatial awareness is off. Usually the fans are on top of you. It's darker in that situation. Goalies are looking to the other end and seeing, the tightness of a building. At times the rink feels big. Other times it feels real small when you're on the bench. But there's a lot of variables that change, when you get to the outdoor game. But we're all excited about being part of it, and both teams have to deal with it.
Such a long, grinding season, Todd. I mean, a game like that, does that just kind of break up the monotony a little bit?
I think it can. That where we are, all of us in the league, where we are in our schedule, I think there's milestones that occur in the league, and the Four Nations break was probably one for 700 and some players. They were looking forward to breathe a little bit, do things with their families. Now it's startup again, and this is a short-term milestone that coming out of that break for us, and then there'll be more to the end of the season.
Some of the outdoor games can look a little chaotic at times. Some of the outdoor games, probably for the reasons that you mentioned. Is that something you can even really try to manage, or how do you deal with it?
Well, we try to. The chaos can come out of being overexcited and or even underexcited if you're not ready to play. I think both teams that tend to have a lot of energy. There's, you go from 20,000 people indoors to whatever it's going to be, 80 or 90, Jody, whatever 90, it's 90 in the outdoor environment. It changes. It's something new. It's something that that you're really not prepared for. You just live it a little bit. And maybe that's where the chaos comes from, but I'm sure it'll be a good game.
Hey, Todd, so how many have you been involved in?
This will be my fourth, I believe.
Wow. Which one was the best, or which one do you remember?
They're all unique, all different. We had one in I don't even know what they call it anymore, where the 49ers play. So we had that one. We had one in Winnipeg. Where else and then with LA, we were in Colorado Springs playing at Air Force, which was really neat because we were at, Denver is a mile high. Colorado Springs is a little bit higher than that. And I wasn't playing and I couldn't breathe. So just everyone's different.
How cold was it in Winnipeg? Or is
It was September, October, early October. It wasn't bad at all. CFL, I think, had just finished, and we played in the outdoor stadium there, so it was, it was different. It was I think it was a heritage game.
Style becomes a big part of these. Do you have any big outfits planned for Saturday?
I have a big outfit planned, but not a big outfit. No, the coaches tend to tame it down a little bit. We leave that up to the real showman, and that's the players.
We saw the blue and yellow skate guards as kind of a nod to the Wolverines. Any other Michigan rivalry hints to expect?
There could be some stuff, but I'm going to let all of you guys figure it all out and see what happens out of it.
I know it's only been a day or two since you kind of openly more challenged the locker room to step up in some key leadership roles on and off the ice. In the short period of time, what are ways that these guys make those impressions on you? Anything you've noticed so far?
Well, Copper went out in, the second or third period against Anaheim, and Ross, same type of scenario. It's really hasn't been that much of hockey. We didn't even practice yesterday. We had a day off, so it's way too early to say, hey, so-and-so stepped up or didn't step up. I thought the group in Minnesota did a good job of being resilient. It was a good game for us to play in because it was tight checking. It wasn't about your top three winning you the game or the power play. It was other characters stepping up, coming from behind, all those qualities that we needed to find a way to win there. And maybe with our B game, I'm not sure that was our A game. Those were all real good things. So that was a team elevation more than individual.
What does, you guys talk about the A game and the B game. For you, what does finding a proper B game mean for your team?
Well, you never feel 100% every night. You just can't. It's impossible. We play way too many games for that. Conditions, opponent, health, and I don't mean injuries. I just mean, running low on energy affects how you play, even your mood. So when that's not optimal, what can you bring to a game so that you have an impact? You can't just wear a jersey and leave. No matter how shitty you feel, you have to find a way to contribute, and that would be finding an opportunity to contribute with your B game.
For some of your younger guys, with kind of as you grow in the NHL, that's kind of how you learn to stay in the league quite a bit. For some of your younger guys on this team, what have you learned about their B games and things like that over the past month and a half since you've been here?
I think young players are still trying to discover both the A and the B. They get caught in between sometimes. They, if they're feeling good, sometimes they're shooting for the A+ game and it can cost them. And if they're feeling bad, sometimes they're shooting for the A+ game and it really costs them. I think they got to figure it out, and that's called experience. Once they get a good understanding of how they fit and things they need to do against certain opponents, how they feel on any given night, they can adjust and be productive.
With Elmer, for a guy who's kind of carved out a spot out of a call-up here, what's he done to earn that trust from you? And obviously a great play on the
Yeah, he's been remarkably consistent. If we graded him out, he's had an impact on almost every game. Maybe the odd one where it hasn't been as effective, but that's just playing in the league. And his ability and reach to keep plays alive. Jody may have the puck and Elmer's standing here, and all of a sudden Elmer's poke checking it from Jody Shelley. Like it's that far away, you just don't anticipate it. So he can close a lot quicker on players or surprise them, and he keeps a lot of plays alive. Good.
Thanks, Todd.